Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making the Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube page a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Now, if you watched last night, I did my opinion of the top 10 all-time tag teams, and I said that today's video was going to be our review of the NASCAR race from this past Sunday at the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. So that is what today's video will be about. And I also mentioned last night that they've put out their first official spread in the Clemson-Georgia game. Right now, Clemson is favored by 3 points, which is about what I expected. I've said the whole time that whichever team was favored would be favored by no more than 4 or 5 points. So it's about where I thought it would be one way or the other. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I want to say it was Sunday before last, I went ahead and gave my early season thoughts on some of the key factors that both teams need in order to win that game. But I have not yet picked a winner. So what I want to do one day next week is hopefully get on here and discuss and talk about it and tell you why I'm having a hard time picking who I believe will win the game. We'll do that coming up one day next week. But for right now, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the NASCAR race from this past weekend at the Monster Mile in Dover. And then I've got some early off-season rumors about some possible driver changes coming up in the 2021 short off-season that NASCAR has, because we know NASCAR doesn't end until November and then they start back in February, so their off-season is very short. But Alex Bowman got his second win of the season. Martin Truex Jr. was the only driver that had more than one win this year, and he had 3, but now Alex Bowman has 2. Kyle Larson was second, Chase Elliott third, William Byron fourth, and Joey Logano rounded out the top 5. The amazing thing about William Byron is he has 11 consecutive top 10 finishes, and they very rarely even talk about it. You can tell he's not one of the big name drivers in NASCAR. Otherwise, it would be all the discussion they'd be having would be about how great William Byron is doing, and they're not even mentioning that he has 11 consecutive top 10 finishes, and they've only had 13 races this year, so he's pretty much been in the top 10 just about every single race. 6 through 10 was Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Suarez, and Cole Custer. Of course, that was Daniel Suarez' first top 10 of the season with his brand new 99 team that he is driving for. And Darrell Wallace, I believe, finished 11th or 12th, which was his best finish of the season for his new 23-11 race team he has. The points right now is Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Martin Truex, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch rounds out the top 10 in the points right now. And I'm not sure off the top of my head if I'm correct or not, but I believe this is correct, that I read a stat the other day that said Kyle Larson right now has 7 career wins, and he has 18 second place finishes. I believe this past Sunday at Dover was already his 3rd or 4th second place finish this year. But 7 wins and 18 second place finishes is the worst ratio of all time amongst drivers who have competed in, I want to say it was at least 150 races, but I could be wrong, but it was something like that. So in other words, Kyle Larson is good enough to get to the front, but he's just not quite good enough to win. To me, that makes him the modern-day Denny Hamlin, and I've always said that's the reason why Denny Hamlin won't win a championship. Denny Hamlin's a great driver. He has not won yet this year, but for his career, he's been a great driver. He makes the playoffs almost every single year and goes down to the last four a lot of years. But when the going gets tough and it's down to the nitty gritty, Denny Hamlin always folds under pressure. And that's basically what Kyle Larson's doing. He's good enough to get to the front, but I guess the pressure gets to him and he just can't quite pull it off. I don't compare him to Mark Martin because Mark Martin didn't just finish in second place a lot. He finished top 5 and top 10 a lot. Plus, in my opinion, Mark Martin's a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. I know the record books show 0, but if you go back and think about it, Mark Martin raced for almost 30 years, and the only 2 times in his entire career he got caught supposedly cheating was the 2 times where he had the championship won. And it just so happened to be that one time it was Dale Earnhardt and the other time it was Tony Stewart. Now, had he won the championship those years against Ricky Rudd and Ken Schrader, he would be a 2-time Cup Series champion. But since he was competing against Dale Earnhardt one time and Tony Stewart one time, and he had them beat, but both those drivers are way more popular than he is, it just so happened that in Mark Martin's career, the only 2 times in his whole career he got caught cheating, it was when he won the title from Dale Earnhardt and when he won the title from Tony Stewart. So in my opinion, Mark Martin's a 2-time champion. Denny Hamlin has never sniffed a championship. So I don't compare Denny Hamlin with Mark Martin. So that's why I said Kyle Larson reminds me of the modern day Denny Hamlin, because 7 wins is all he has, but he has 18 second place finishes. Now, of course, he's still young, so he'll win some more races, but I'm sure as he wins some more races, he's also going to have a ton more of second place finishes. I'm sure that's going to happen. And a while ago, I mentioned Brad Keselowski. Now, if you follow NASCAR, you know he drives for Team Penske, and his original contract was supposed to run out at the end of last year, and then Penske gave him 1 more year on his deal. So right now his contract runs out at the end of this year. Now, of course, his 2 teammates, the 12 car of Ryan Blaney and the 22 car of Joey Logano, they both have contracts for the next 5 or 6 years. Well, Brad Keselowski has now came out and said that him not getting the contract that his teammates have kind of hurts his feelings. And now he's been offered a part ownership role with Roush Fenway Racing. So if he comes to Roush Fenway Racing, it would become Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, and he would drive for Roush Fenway Keselowski. He would probably drive the 6 car because I don't see them bringing Ryan Newman back next year. And I don't think Jack Roush has the funds right now to start a 3rd team. So if he goes to Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, I believe he'll drive the 6 car. Now, of course, this is all still just a rumor about him leaving, and I'm giving my prediction on if he goes to Roush Fenway Keselowski, where he'll probably drive at. I believe Ryan Newman's days as a full-time driver are coming to an end. And before it's all said and done, he may end up re-signing with Penske as long as he gets a long-term deal. I just don't think he likes the fact that Blaney, who has not won a championship, gets a long-term deal. And Logano has won a championship, but Logano gets a long-term deal. But I think that has to do with the fact that Keselowski is 37 and Logano is 31, and the fact that Keselowski's championship came 9 years ago and Logano's championship came just 3 years ago. So in today's world with his "what have you done for me lately," I think Logano's championship 3 years ago combined with Keselowski's championship from 9 years ago, combined with the fact that Keselowski's 37 and Logano is 31, is the reason why Logano has that long-term contract, whereas Keselowski don't. And I think Blaney got a long-term contract because they think that he is talented enough to where if he doesn't get a long-term deal, he'll jump ship and go somewhere else, kind of like Kyle Busch did years ago when he didn't get the long-term contract from Rick Hendrick and he left, and now he's gone to Joe Gibbs, and he's already won 2 championships, and he's still got many years of racing left in front of him. But of course, Alex Bowman still has not signed a contract with the 48 car. So we might see Keselowski jump ship and go to Hendrick and jump in the 48 car, because even though Alex Bowman now has 2 wins this year, he still has not signed a contract with Rick Hendrick. So maybe we'll see Keselowski go to the 48 car, and maybe we'll see Alex Bowman go to the 2 car. But I believe before it's all said and done, Keselowski will stick with Penske. But he has came out and said that he wants to remain in racing when his driving days are over, and he wants to be an owner. So I do think him getting offered the part ownership role with Roush is really enticing. And even though Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing has a long name to it, I believe that's very, very enticing. So if he doesn't re-sign with Penske, don't be surprised to see him driving that 6 car next year, taking the place of Ryan Newman, who, as I said, I believe his driving days are coming to an end. This may just be his last full-time season in the NASCAR Cup Series. But if you're a NASCAR fan or know someone who is, please feel free to tell them to watch this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I try my best to do a NASCAR review one time a week, because I know there are a lot of NASCAR fans out there, not just myself. Now, this Sunday, they're going to be doing something a little bit different. They claim this is supposed to be the way NASCAR is slowly heading to, so we'll see how it works out this Sunday. But they're going to be racing at the Circuit of the Americas, which is in Texas. If you follow Formula One racing, you know that's the only American track that Formula One racing goes to. Every other Formula One race is overseas. The one race they run in Formula One here in America is the Circuit of the Americas in Texas. And since the NASCAR Cup Series is running 7 road course races this year, number 2 on the schedule is Circuit of the Americas. But qualifying is going to be Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, which will be 10 o'clock Central there for the people in Texas. NASCAR says they're trying to get to do this more and more and more, and that's have qualifying and the race in the same day. It's supposed to be kind of like a budget saver for the fans, because not all fans have the money to go to the racetrack and spend the night in a motel all weekend long. But some fans are diehard fans, and they want to see qualifying and they want to see the race. And a lot of them only go to the race. Well, NASCAR wants them there for qualifying as well, and they'll use the excuse that, they didn't have all weekend available. They had plans for that Saturday, or they couldn't afford, a motel room. So this way, you don't have to worry about that. If you live close by in the area, you get up Sunday morning, you go to the racetrack, they have qualifying. A couple hours later, they have the race. That way, if you want to see qualifying, you can, and you no longer have an excuse if you don't go see qualifying, because it's on the same day as the race. Now, me personally, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I love watching the races, but you couldn't pay me to go watch qualifying. I'll watch it on TV. I'll read the results, but I'm not going to sit there and watch 2 hours of qualifying. For the fans who do it, good luck to you. You're a better fan than I am, I guess, but you couldn't pay me to go out there and watch qualifying. To me, qualifying is a glorified practice. I just couldn't go out there and watch it, whether it's free or not, same day or not. I couldn't do it. But now for the diehard fans that want to, you'll be able to get up Sunday morning, go to the racetrack. They have qualifying. A couple hours later, it's the race. So we'll see how it works, because NASCAR says what they're wanting to do in the future on the weekends when all 3 series compete, they want to make each series have its own day. So instead of having truck practice on Friday, and then cup practice on Friday, and then on Saturday having truck practice, and then having Xfinity practice, and then having cup practice, and then having Xfinity qualifying, and then having cup qualifying, they want Friday to be truck series practice, truck series qualifying, truck series race. On Saturday, they want to have Xfinity series practice, Xfinity series qualifying, Xfinity series race. And then on Sunday, have Cup Series practice, Cup Series qualifying, Cup Series race. So we'll see how it works this Sunday. Like I said, qualifying will be at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock there in Texas, and the green flag will drop shortly after 2:30 for the Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix. It'll be race number 14 on the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series regular season. So it's 13 races down, 13 races to go before the playoffs start. So we're exactly at the halfway point of the regular season. And what do you call a girl standing in the middle of a tennis court? A net. And that is your dad joke of the day. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.